I'm Leandra, and I'll be telling you all about when I met New Hope Club in Times Square.
I'm in class and I get a message from Leandra and she's like, New Hope Club just posted a photo at the gym of their hotel.
And so I was like, okay, like, let's just, like, try and find it.
We're like, do we go to the hotel? Or like, and we're like, no, that's weird. We don't want to wait outside the hotel. Like, that's kind of weird.
So on our way to New York on the train, Kalei DM'd me. I was like, oh my god, like, they just posted on Instagram, like, on their story, like, where they are. They're in Times Square right now.
Then my professor lets us out of class early, and I'm like, oh my god, great. So I go immediately from class with my backpack with like 3 textbooks and my laptop in there. It's like, and I just go to Times Square, which is like not smart to do, but you know. I get to Times Square, I text her, and she's like, alright, cool, we'll be there in a second. And I'm like, great.
They ended up being at like a Starbucks. I kind of like stopped and I was like, okay, let me think about this with my sister. And so we're like, okay, well, it looks like it's that Starbucks, like right there. So like we went by like to go check it out, like we were gonna go walk over and see. So we're cutting through there and there's like all these tables and stuff. And I'm walking, like looking at the Starbucks. I'm like, okay, like I don't see them, like I don't think they're there, maybe they left. And then I turn and look to my left and I see Blake taking a picture of Reese.
And then, so I go look on Instagram to kill time, and then I see that Reese posted a photo.
There was a picture of Reese eating a banana, and I watched that picture be taken. And then that's when I was like, okay, like, I'm pretty sure that's them. Let me, like, walk a little closer. And it was.
And then, like, I get a message from her in all caps, I see them. And I'm like, where do you see them? And, like, she doesn't respond, and I'm like, I keep texting her. I'm like, where are you? Like, where are they? Like, what? Text me back, please.
So I literally ran over this thing because I was like, oh my god, like they're gonna leave. Like I want to meet them so bad.
And she's like not texting me back, and it's been like 3 minutes, and I'm like, great. Like I missed my chance. They're probably gone. She met them, and I'll just be like sad while she's showing me her pictures, telling me her story.
So basically, I walked up and I was like, I saw Reese, and I was like, excuse me. I was like, can we like take a picture, please? And they were like, yeah, like, sure, of course. And I was like, oh my god, like, I'm having, like, an anxiety attack right now because I feel so bad. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally wasting their time. And so another girl comes, like, from around the corner. Her name's Kayla. We're now friends, actually, which is really funny because we didn't even know each other at the time.
I was in Times Square waiting in line for an MTV segment with Why Don't We? And Reese posted this picture, and I'm pretty sure he was in Starbucks. And, like, I could see the picture of like Forever 21 in the background, and then I looked up and I was looking at Forever 21 from the opposite direction, and I was like, this is destiny. So I just hopped out of line. I left some stuff there, and I was by myself, so like I just asked a random person to watch my stuff. MVP. And like I walked over, I'm sitting like a detective trying to like match the picture to Times Square. And then I saw Starbucks and like they weren't in there. So I just gave up altogether. And then as I'm walking back all depressed, I look up and all 3 of them are standing talking to a fan, and I was about to lose my mind. So like I walked over there and it was the first time I met them, and I could barely speak. So like I saw them and I was just like, my voice goes up a couple octaves. So I was just like, hi. And it was really embarrassing. And I took this really cute photo, and I did not know what to say. I was just so, like, struck. And it turns out that the person who took the photo for me is, like, the sister of one of the friends that I met later on at another event to see New Hope Club. It's a small world. But yeah, they were so sweet. And then like as I was leaving, Blake was like, thank you, and I was just like, thank you, you know.
I was like, hey, like, this was really weird, by the way. Like, I felt so bad doing this, but it needed to be done because Kalei was nowhere to be found, and she needed to meet them. And I was like, dude, like, I found them. Like, where are you? I'm telling her where I am. I didn't realize that the sign I told her about changes every, like, 5 seconds.
She sends me a picture of, like, where she's at, and I'm like, I look up and that's literally like right, like what she sent me a picture of was like literally right in front of me. So then I look and they're like less than 5 feet away from me, and I'm like, oh my god, if I just was not looking at my phone, like I would have seen them. But no, I was looking at my phone waiting. Like I don't know. Like honestly, I probably walked past New Hope Club like 5 times because I just wasn't even paying attention. I was like so busy like looking for my friend.
So in order for me to get them to wait, I had to ask. And normally you don't ask things like that. So I was like, oh my god, like they're gonna say no, like they're gonna think I'm a creep. So I asked, I was like, hey, like my friend like really wants to meet you guys, like she's like around the corner, like would you mind waiting? And then George was like, yeah, of course, like we don't have anything to do today.
So anyway, so I walk over there. I was like, thanks for waiting for me, because like, you know, I really thought that like after she said that she saw them, I was like, that's it. Like they took their picture already. They're gone. Like I'm never gonna see them. This is sad. But then it happened and I was just so happy.
Me, Kalei, my sister, and Kayla ended up meeting them in Times Square. Like I know it's like not embarrassing, but it's embarrassing for me because that was the first time I ever met them, and then I was all sweaty, it was gross, like Blake, Reese, George, if you're watching, I'm sorry that I asked you to wait. I felt like I was wasting your time.
That was really awkward because like they were literally like waiting for me to come, which is like, shout out to them because no other person would ever do that. Like imagine like if someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, can you wait for my friend? Like I would be like, no. Like they literally, like that's so nice. Like they were really nice.
So in September of 2018, I went to the Z100 Dunkin' Donuts lounge. It was the first time that I was meeting them, so I was like super excited.
The second time I met them was at Z100 at the Dunkin' Donuts lounge, because that same day I had met them at Times Square. I found out I won the competition to see them. So I was like, oh, like you already know I'm skipping school, which I did.
And then I'm like about to leave class. I look at my phone and she messaged me. She's like, oh my god, I won the Z100 thing, but like my sister really wants to go with me. Did you win? And I'm like, no, I didn't win. So she's like, do you know anybody else? Because like no one that I knew had been like tweeting about it or anything. She's like, well, I know this one girl and it was Sara.
I didn't really know anyone at that point who also loved New Hope Club who hadn't already won. And then
So she sent me Sara. She sent me Sara's ad. Like honestly, I don't know if I was following Sara or not. I don't think I was. So I follow her. I messaged her and I'm like, hey, if you need anyone to go with for the C100 thing, I'm available. Like who does that? Who messages someone that they don't even know? Like, hey, can I go with you?
Kalei DMs me, and like I didn't really know her that well, but she was like, can I be your +1? And I was like, I mean, it would have gone to waste, so sure, join me.
And I'm like, yes, this is great. Like I don't even care about the fact that I have to skip class and I'm using one of my 2 absences for them, but I'm like, you know what, whatever.
So like that morning I was like all anxious. I was like, oh my god, like I'm actually gonna meet them again. Like I'm so excited.
So I'm like super excited. I'm ready. I'm like, good. I get to redeem myself from making them wait for me in Times Square.
And so we all go in and sit down in like these little like stool things. Like we had like donuts and coffee. So I'm sitting with Kalei, my sister, and then like I'm sitting between them and Sara's in front of us because we weren't able to get front row because these girls like jumped in front, and we're like, well, we were on the front of the line, but go off.
And I remember there weren't a lot of people, but it was like really cute and small and intimate.
They had like this card thing and we're like, oh cute, like it's a picture of that. And I turn around and it has the release date for Crazy on it.
They had these cards and it had the Crazy release date on it, so we were all like super excited.
So I'm like freaking out. We're like, like they're like right in front of us and we're like, oh my god, Crazy's coming out on this day, blah blah.
It's like we were the first to find out that Crazy was being released. We also got to see them perform it acoustically, which was so fun. That's what you made me. You're crazy too.
They did a Q&A after. So then after that, we did like our meet and greet. Like I went up and I just hugged them all. I couldn't really hug Reese because he had his guitar on.
Well, that was amazing. George gives the best hugs. Literally my home screen is me hugging him.
And it was like so much fun, actually. So I go outside with Victoria, Sara, and Kalei, and we're waiting.
And then after the actual event, we were all downstairs waiting outside, and the boys came out, like they were waiting for their Uber.
I'm like, all right, let's just start like walking. Like no one wanted to go. Everyone's like, okay, so like who's going first? I'm like, all right, let's all just like walk over there. So we all walk over.
And we literally talked to them for like 10 minutes. Like
We were just like talking, like having like a nice conversation for maybe like 10 minutes.
there was something so special about just standing outside and talking to them as if we were just friends.
Z100 was probably honestly my favorite like memory. We talked with them like outside for a while, which was really nice.
We just had like a 10-minute conversation with New Hope Club on the street, and it was great. We were talking about football, and London, and homesick. That's basically where I made my first New Hope Club friends, and it was just something that I'll never forget. I loved that experience so much.